Howdy, folks. All right, this past weekend's battlefield, it was such a high activity affair that I simply do not have enough time in my life to analyze all this data. And if I knew anything about computers, I would design an AI that could go through Ebony battle reports because there's so many. We produce so many. I'm only going to go through the first hour because we ran out of speed ups. That's how these people beat us. We could have given them comp and made it a last minute affair at the least if we'd all brought enough speed ups. So please rally Serbs. It's ultimate battle season. Anyway. All right. This was a tag team effort. Neff hit them. There was something left. I cleaned it out. Usually Neff cleans them out in a solo. We're trying to push Neff anyway. Okay. Here's the story. Now, this is less than 1.3 billion power loss versus a 1.4 billion power loss. So it's about a break even on power. So you got to break it down where, if y'all will remember, there was an SVS where Lethal sat, took the rally, and Heck said it was stupid. Then he told us what to do, and that was the last thing he ever said to us. So that's why I'm going to take some time to break this down. That was a 6,000, 5,900 range attack buff that came at us. I know you all say that Lethal's in-city buffs need to come up, and you're right. Which ones particularly? We're doing ground defense and HP and siege attack particularly. But those four, ground defense and HP and siege attack and defense for percentage buffs, are nearing 2,000. A lot of that has to do with our Monarch gear, and, well, we've been working on that. You'll notice the range debuff is 1438. That's not bad, but it could be better. We're improving it. Okay, let's look at what actually hit. Level 48 generals, premium generals, T15 layers. This was a K44. Look how they structured it. Sent too many T15s, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. That's just the lead person. There was only 4 players, and they were trying to send fast, it looked like to me. Okay, here's what she did. Level 48 generals come against level 40 debuff generals. Look at the power. I know y'all say that any tavern wall general with any buffs could be better. Okay, look at this. Because I have listened to age-old, tired defense formulas from several players, and I've watched them get ripped apart and zeroed in these big battles where it mattered. I'm on to something here. Please listen to me. And Lethal is the showcase of it right here, right now. This is what happens in real time, in real battles. While I'm saying this, some of you have been able to look and see the wins on the layers. Now, of course, the major losses came in the mounted layers. If she had had her mount ghosted, this would have gained more points for our side. Let's go ahead and talk about it. We're 7 minutes into the battle. It started at noon. We're 7 minutes into the battle. Okay. Look at the rest of the layers. At T12, her range starts showing a loss. Look at what the siege is doing. Okay. We'll go on down to the bottom. Okay. You see what happened there? Now, look at what the reinforcements are able to do. Because if I go through the rest of the midsection, I'll only do that. There's very little there. I want you to notice that the first hit they attempted was range. It was not siege. In a battle this size, where they do not attempt a siege hit, but they attempt a range hit instead, that is a matter of baiting and deception like I used to use in the boxing ring. That is a matter of baiting and deception like has been used in war in times past. Look at Hannibal versus the Romans, Kings and Generals. Excellent YouTube channel. I don't mind plugging it. Okay. Look at William Wallace and the Battle of Hastings. Baiting. Okay. Look. This right here tells me we know what we're doing. They hit with range instead of siege. And look at this. Look what the Rians were able to do. Paco sent range Rian. Not the best thing you can send against range. And look at the victories he's got. Look at those layers. I mean, only in the mounted troop layers did he have any losses. He killed more troops than he lost. Clear wins. Of course, I'm going to send that. And I know I'm going to send that, and I'm the one designing her defense, so it's a no-brainer as to what's going to happen next. Look at the layers. Where are my losses? In the mount layer. No surprises. Oh, look at that. 154,000 troop loss. 2.1 million kills. Okay, when they're sending troops against you to attack, they're not sending T1s. You're killing high-level troops. That's points. And, well, okay. Look at this. T12 layer. 22,000 loss, 225,000 kills. Look again. Look what the ground troops are doing. 66,000 loss, million kills. That is a relic offered general, not even a premium general in the lead. She only had 3 Rians. That's all she needed. So, yes, she could go over to the enemy server against this SVS opponent and drop bubble and do what she wanted to do and attract a range hit, and we could have done better than this. In case y'all didn't know. Okay. After that, we have Nagesh on the phone, our biggest asset that I see in this alliance. And, well, this was a mistake. But if you got more speed ups than them, it doesn't matter. We're looking at 12 minutes in. This was a mistake, but we've got the speed ups to heal from it. Everybody does. Everybody knows. You don't spend resources to heal on the battlefield. It's a speed up consumption. Okay. Lethal and I did a port swap because she got damaged. They sent all of this against just me because it wasn't her that they hit. She was the last one they hit, and they looked at the battle reports, which is what we normally do. So think 2 steps ahead of them. And because we had Nagesh on the phone, he suggested this. Lo and behold, okay, they get me for a little bit. Doesn't matter. I got plenty of speed ups. They get me for a little bit more. Doesn't matter. I got a lot of speed ups. They're having to burn up speed ups against me. The rest of my team is not having to burn up nothing. And look at this. 1 billion loss against 1.9 billion loss. Okay, they really didn't get me for much. The rest of my team isn't having to burn up any speed ups. That's their whole team. Look what they're sending. Oh, by God, they're sending, yeah. I'm skinning them up. Port swap, just stay there. They decided after the last rally didn't quite go their way, they're going to send it all. And we did a port swap. Nagesh told us to do that. Thank you, Nagesh. Shukriya, Dhanyavad. This was a mistake. Doesn't really matter. They had to use speed ups too. Okay. We zeroed that fucker. From this point, I'm just going to go to... Look at that. We were skinning these people up. Look at the top. 32 minutes into this. Okay, win percentage. We were skinning these people up. Look at that. We were 2 steps ahead of them. We were doing the business. 32 minutes in. Defenses won again. Well, wasn't the best performance, but still. You bring more speed ups, those little things don't matter. Okay, look at this. They decide to go after Neff. This is 38 minutes in. Okay, y'all already know Neff has solid D. There's nothing. I mean, all it takes is 3 of us. Look at this. Solid D. They sent more players that time. Okay. Yeah, there's some lost, some won. Okay, they're going after Neff like a motherfucker now. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. That's a win. Look at the numbers. That's a win. Okay, this is just stupid. Let it all out demolition derby. Now look at the numbers. They're losing. Going after Neff. Look at this. I'm getting them in this temple tag. We're 49 minutes in. We're giving them comp. Okay. Look at the numbers. We are in this. That's 50 minutes in. We are in this. And right here, Neff runs out of speed ups. She can't heal. I don't need to talk about nothing else. I don't need to talk about anything else. Look at this. Look at those buffs. Look at what's coming against us. I mean, we were there. By this time, they got to know us and they gotten a bit more organized. But look. Here's the end result. Where is it? I think this is it. No. That it? No. Where is this? No. Where the hell is the battlefield results? I had them. There's my sexy ass wife. There we go. Here's where we ended up. That is a high scoring affair between two elite teams. We ran out of speed ups. I don't care if that guy that scored 108,000 points, and everybody saw what I did to try to send the score higher because it's ultimate battle season. But I don't care that he was that much more powerful than us and probably has a lot more duty generals and officer gear and other stuff that we can't afford. Look, we ran out of speed ups. That's it. We got a great team. We need more speed ups. Rally more Serbs. And that is it.